From the hills of West Virginia to the high rises of Chicago. For over 30 years, Dan Frio has mastered the real estate market as one of the country's premier mortgage advisors. Dan is now sharing his experience and knowledge with the AM 560 audience. So sit back and learn how Dan has helped his clients manage the ups and downs of the real estate market across the country. Now, here's the host of the Mortgage Update, Dan Frio.
America. Welcome to the Mortgage Update. Right now, buckle up. What a lineup we have in store for you today. The man and a guy with the key to the station, which is scary, Sean Thompson. You can hear him Sundays on AM 560 at 8 to 9 p.m. on the Liberty Hour. And why I asked Sean to come in today is we're going to talk about the Fed. I know he's a huge fan of the Fed. That's sarcasm. And I listen to Sean all the time, and I talk to him quite a bit. And he bashes the Fed, and I wanted him to come in and give us his take. You also hear, and if you haven't heard it yet, you're going to hear a buzzword. I'm thinking this buzzword is being created at this point. There's some facts behind it, but it's called the inverted yield curve. So you might hear the inverted yield curve is predicting a recession next year, the following year. Yeah, it is. So in the next segment, we're going to ask Sean, what's the inverted yield curve, and are you fearful of a recession? Then we're going to finish the show. I want to talk in the end of every show about credit scores, credit hacks, credit. Your credit is such a big part of your life. But recently, Capital One just got hacked with over 100 million U.S. citizens' personal information out on the dark web. So I'm going to go over what you do, or what you should do, or what you better be doing to protect yourself. But I want to start the show. It's the week of 9/11. So I want to tribute this show to the heroes out there. So I want to personally thank those. And here's a list of, what I consider heroes. And then I'm going to put my money where my mouth is to show you what I've done and what I've become a part of or joined to help these groups of heroes. So if you're in one of these sections, please stay tuned for what we're going to talk about, because this can help save you when you're buying a house or refinancing or anything. But I'm doing this. My dad's a World War II veteran, if anybody doesn't know. He's still with us. Actually, I'm flying out in a couple of days to go visit him. He's 89 years old, be 90 here in the next few months. I'm trying to spend as much time as I can. He's in the Pittsburgh area, so he's halfway across the country. But here's the heroes that I want to, reach out to. Firefighters, EMS, law enforcement, the military. You could be in the military now or a veteran. Healthcare professionals and teachers. So if you're a part of this unique group, I consider you heroes. Why? Because a big piece of this puzzle, you put your lives at stake. On 9/11, many of you lost those lives. So I was introduced to this program. The program is called Homes for Heroes. And it was established right after 9/11. Believe it or not, that's 18 years ago. We can't forget about those who put their lives on the line to help others. So this is my way of saying thank you. I became a part of the Homes for Hero program just recently. And when I heard about it, I'm like, I got to do this. So here's what it does. Okay. It'll help the average hero when they're buying a home, selling a home, or even refinancing. So I don't want to promote this as a big mortgage section. What I want to say is you guys earned it. The young men and women out there have dedicated your lives to helping others. Please let me give back a little bit. So here's how this works. If you're in the market to buy a house or sell a home or refinance, again, this isn't an ad I want to promote is for mortgages, but I want to say this is my skin in the game to help those who help others. What we do is in this program, we can get you financing, and I, on my part of it, will give you a $1,000 credit toward all your closing costs, $1,000. So you're going to save $1,000 on the mortgage piece of the puzzle. On the other side of the puzzle, we will we'll get associated with a realtor, if you're selling your home or buying a home, who is also a part of Homes for Heroes. Here's what this whole program will do for you. You will get a rebate check or a credit at the closing from me for $1,000 to cover any closing costs. You will also get a rebate check or a credit from the realtor. Okay, from the realtor. So if you're buying a home, you're going to get 0.7% of the purchase price of the home. So for every $100,000 you spend, you're going to get a $700 rebate check or credit. So $200,000 is $1,400 and so forth. So you're going to, on average, the average person is saving over $3,000 by using this package. Now, that is our skin in the game to help you get through this process. Just a way of us to say thank you. So who qualifies for the program? So Qualified Heroes includes, but isn't limited to, firefighters, law enforcement, paramedics, and all other first responders. All ranks of active military, reserves, and veterans. Also nurses, doctors, health professionals, and even elementary school teachers, secondary schools, and college. So any piece of that, you would qualify for this program. So to find out more, please just visit my website. I change it, so it makes it a little bit easier for you to find now. It's windmortgage.com. That's windmortgage.com. So let me just go over some frequently asked questions that most people would have. So would you need to use a specialist to receive these services? Yes. You have to use a company or person that is approved by Homes for Heroes. Another question you might have is, what if I'm not ready to buy, sell, or refinance? That's fine too. But give me a call and let's get you on the path, or at least put together a roadmap on how to get you to where you want to get to. Okay, so let's recap this. To find out if you qualify, go to windmortgage.com and click the Homes for Heroes tab. Within 24 hours, I personally will get back with you and discuss all the options that you have. And also, if you don't have a realtor, we'll set you up with a Homes for Heroes realtor to help with this process. The next question you might have is Homes for Heroes for profit or a nonprofit? Well, the Homes for Heroes Foundation is a nonprofit, private charitable foundation that awards heroes grants to local nonprofit charities who serve our heroes as it pertains to housing or emergency financial assistance. The reason why I became a member of this, like I said, my father is a World War II vet, and I have great respect for him. I have a lot of other family members in the services. I have a nephew who's a police officer. I have another nephew and brother-in-law who's a firefighter. I have another cousin who works for the DEA. I have a lot of family members that are part of this, and their wages aren't huge. And they put their lives on the line every day, especially the police officers, the firefighters, EMS, and the teachers. God bless you, teachers. So my way of giving back was as soon as I heard about this program, I was like, I got to find out more about this. Is it legit? Is it one of those organizations that every dollar you send in, the CEO takes 90 cents of it? No, it's a way that I can directly impact you. The realtor can directly impact you. Really, the agenda is to help you, to help the heroes that put their lives on the line every day to help others. And in today's world, so many of them are getting bashed. The police officers are getting, every day they're getting, drawn through the coals of, what maybe one of them does out of a million of them. Our armed forces. The war has been 18 years. 18 years we've been at war. My kids, my youngest child is 20 years old. She does not remember us not being at war. Many of us forget these people. There's people all over the world protecting you and me. We forget about them. Firefighters, you don't even blink when a fire truck goes by anymore. You don't blink when a police officer goes by. Teachers, do we say thank you to them? The pay scales on teachers over the country is pretty dismal. I have nieces that are teachers. I have other nieces and other acquaintances of mine who were teachers that got out of teaching because it's so bad. Their hands are tied, the income is terrible, and they got out of the business. So for those that have stayed in the business of educating our children, God bless you. What this program does It was created to help those heroes when they're doing anything in regards to real estate. So again, Homes for Heroes. We as partners in the Homes for Heroes program, we pay a fee to them, and that fee is used for very good causes. It helps buy homes for heroes. It helps remodel homes for heroes. It helps them financially. It helps do all kind of things for those. What my skin in the game is for this, I don't want to just be rah, and there sit there and tell you about the program. I will issue you a $1,000 credit toward your closing costs. I will make sure we use a realtor who is also a part of this program. You're going to get probably $700, $800, $1,400, maybe $2,000 in credits or rebate check from the realtor. So when you add it all together, you're looking at possibly $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in savings. It's my way of saying thank you. So when we come back, we're going to have the guest, the legend, in his own mind, Sean Thompson. We're going to discuss the Federal Reserve, the inverted yield curve, home ownership, and is there a recession on the horizon? Stay tuned.
Now, more of the Mortgage Update on AM 560. Here's your host, Dan Frio.
Welcome to the Mortgage Update. Today we have the man, the legend, the host of the Liberty Hour. You can hear that on Sundays on AM 560 at 8 to 9 p.m.
How about the propaganda slayer? I always wanted to go with propaganda slayer.
If you listen to 560, you know Sean Thompson.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to talk about. So we were just talking before. I don't want to just have a mortgage show. Who cares about mortgages, especially for an hour?
Right.
But you made some good comments. So just
you want me to make those good comments again?
Absolutely.
All right. So here's the issue to me. Our life is about how good we can do for ourselves and what we can leave behind for our descendants, right? And that's why we achieve things, because we want to better our lives. I don't think propaganda is a help. I think it's a hindrance.
Sure.
So I want radio to be informative, and I want it to be conversational, and I want it to be truthful, right? So that's why I cut through cheerleading. I don't cheerlead. I don't propagandize,
right?
Because it's always about the money, right? And as government, this is the September 11th week, and as what have we seen happen since September 11th? Is that government has exploded into our finances.
Right.
Prior to September 11th, the kind of control over the economy that the government now has didn't really exist. Now, it was infiltrated into a bad way, which led to the housing crisis.
Yeah.
Right? It was manipulated and contorted, but we had ground to stand and to push back. As you see in this climate, and this isn't a Trump issue, this isn't an Obama issue, this is a politics issue. They are now in absolute and total control over all monetary policies.
Right.
There is no independence anymore. The Federal Reserve, I never cared for the entire central banking system, is a scam anyway.
Well, the other day, I listened to you on the radio, and that's why I said I need to have you in here to talk about the Fed and interest rates and what your thoughts are on Trump tweeting to Powell, who's the Federal Reserve president, you're an idiot, you're this, you should do this.
Yeah, it's an intimidation.
It should be completely a separate.
But here's the
model.
thing. Here's the beauty.
Thoughts.
Here's the beauty of what Trump has exposed, and there is a beauty in it.
Yeah.
He has exposed that it isn't separate from politics. Right. In fact, they're working hand in glove in a manipulation effort to, in my opinion, fake the economy. Because what politicians understand is that the perception of how things are more important than the reality of how things are. And if people are confident, that's why they're always trying to control confidence. That's why they propagandize us. If you're confident, you're more willing to take risk. We now have an economy that's built strictly on debt and risk. Yeah. So the last thing they need the people to be aware of is the risk and what exactly the climate is today and what it looks like it will be based on bad decisions. Right? This is what we do. Right. I still consider myself a speculator, even though I haven't traded commodities for 14 years. Right. I'm still a speculator. I still look at things through that prism of taking the information, dissecting it, and forecasting, in my opinion, the way things should be based on fundamentals. Now, guys like me are passé since 2008 because George Bush broke the rules of fundamentals and capitalism. And now, if you listen to his own words, to save it, which isn't true, it's to bastardize it. And this is why we are in a climate now where a president can sit from Mount High. And listen, there are things I like about Trump, but this is outrageous to me. Can sit from Mount High and say, lower the rates.
Right.
Because what you do when you lower rates are you destroy the savings for fundamental people. Our grandparents, for example, they saved their money.
Right.
They paid off their real estate. Yeah. They didn't take debt. And at the end, their goal was to die worth value.
Right.
In today's climate, society would have you go an entirely different way.
Leverage.
And it's a full wealth.
Right.
It's why the guys have no problem paying $1,000 a month for a car lease and the whole thing. So you've changed the mindset of society to where they are comfortable being in debt in hopes that what they've borrowed against continues to go up in price.
Gotcha.
Whereas before that wasn't the case.
Do most people know? I know, but do most people know you're a realtor as well?
No. Not a lot because, here's the thing about being a real estate broker. It's like, I'm proud to know you because I think you are a guy of integrity. I also feel that way about other mortgage guys, but you know as well as I do,
sure,
it's 5 out of 50.
Right.
It's about 10%.
I hate the used car dealership mentality on half these people.
We're very lucky. I know good mortgage people.
Right.
I mean, the company you work for, the guy is a friend of mine.
Okay.
You guys are good guys. And I want you guys to understand that when people need to listen to Dan Frio, when Dan Frio gives you advice, he's giving you advice that in some cases cost him money.
Right. Yeah.
He's
absolutely
doing it in a way where he's trying to inform you and help you. He's doing it in a way to help society.
And that was the whole point of the show, and that's why I asked you in here. I don't want this to be who wants to listen about mortgages for an hour?
Because
I don't even want to talk about it for an hour.
Right now, you know this, and everybody listening knows this. Mortgage rates are at an all-time low.
Right.
And they probably shouldn't be this low.
Right.
And they probably won't be this low.
So
could you borrow responsibly to improve yourself? Yes, but that's an individual case. Right.
I've been advocate, and tell me your thoughts on this. I'm an advocate. There's a lot of people out there still 5-6% interest rates. It's I don't want you to. Okay, people call in and say I want to refinance. But my question is why? To lower my rate, why? To lower my payments, why? How about we keep the payment the same, pay it off that much quicker, then you save that much more in interest.
And that's why I'm proud you asked me to be in your show. Because when you said that, when you go through your description, you're not hiding the fact that when you borrow money, if you're keeping the time but lowering the rate, you're hurting yourself.
Absolutely.
You're looking to shave the time down, keep the payment where you can pay it off early.
Right.
That's an honorable mortgage guy.
Right.
And that's important.
Yeah.
And the company you work for is an honorable company. Yeah. And that's important.
There's a lot of times people call and I'll just say, keep with what you got. Pay an extra $50-$100 a month. I make money by doing mortgages, but I'm not going to do that.
So the reason that I don't advertise much that I'm a real estate broker is a couple things. I'm an opinionated real estate broker, which is not the norm.
Yeah.
Real estate professionals, it's an unfortunate thing, but 90% of them are selling you because they want you to be confident in transacting rather than focusing on the transaction.
Yeah.
Right? So 4.5 years ago, I didn't think you could look at the information about Illinois real estate and say, I'm confident in buying it. It was very evident that Illinois was on the path to where it is today, which is a calamity. Bankruptcy, and where the answers are to constantly persecute the citizen. All they know how to do is go after people and raise taxes and raise costs.
It's funny, I can now do mortgages all throughout the country. I'm doing mortgages in Florida, in California, in Texas, in Colorado. It's amazing. I always knew our real estate taxes were high. By no means did I think they were this high. I mean, I'm doing a loan right now in Florida, in Naples. I think the guy's taxes, it's a $300,000 house. I think his taxes are, I want to say $1,500.
That's where my office is.
Got it.
And there's no mistake to that. My office is there because of that.
Got it.
Okay, so I aspire to be wealthy. I think people should aspire to be better tomorrow than they are today. You cannot do that if you're constantly overcharged. You just can't. You can't keep up. You can't tread the water fast enough. And this is why the frustration. I get a lot of people are like, why are you so angry? Well, I'm angry because I've played by the rules and I'm the guy you keep penalizing.
Right. And we keep losing.
Right. And we are, and you have to recognize that. And that's what you do that I think is important. You bring that integrity level to the mortgage business, which unfortunately is full of people with not a lot of integrity.
No,
it just is. So that's why I'm proud, you asked me in here, and that's why I like to do it. And we talk about the Fed because your entire industry and mine would be more stable, would be more profitable, would be better off if lenders were able to have discretion of how they lent.
Not everybody needs to or should own a home.
No,
and I'm an advocate of that. Yeah. It's like you don't, if somebody comes to me, they have no money, they're buried in debt, they don't have any money for a down payment. There's a down payment assistance program. Great. But your finances don't put you in a position to do this. You're paying $500 a month in rent. Your mortgage is going to be $1,200. How are you going to do it?
Well, there may be different stories, but there's only one truth.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, when you have a market that has been frauded, we are all worse off. There is no such thing as winning in a frauded market unless you're in on the scam. Right?
Yeah. When we come back, if you can, I know you got to roll out of here in shortly. Yeah. I'd like to talk about, because a lot of people, the buzzword right now is inverted yield curve. And you were a trader. I'm hopeful that you know a lot about this. I do. But I want your perspective on what you think the future is going to bring because of, and we'll explain what the heck is an inverted yield curve.
It's a catastrophe. It's a catastrophe waiting to happen. Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get back.
We're back again with Sean. Thanks again for being here.
No, it's no problem. I love it, and you're helping me, right? I'm lobbying for that 5 to 7 job.
There you go.
So of course anything's a help.
Please vote for him. I don't know if you can go out there and vote for you to become a member of the show AM 516.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Keep your fingers. Say prayer for him.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in 2 minutes with Sean Thompson.
We now return to the Mortgage Update on AM 560. Here's Dan Frio.
Welcome back to the Mortgage Update. Sean, we touched on the Fed a little bit and how a lot of this stuff is manipulated. But the big buzzword right now is inverted yield curves. Mm-hmm. So people out there, if you haven't heard it yet, you're going to hear it because they're predicting a recession next year in the next 12 to 18 months. You're a trader. You're probably very educated in this.
Mine's a real fundamental belief system. So what we're hearing now is a Keynesian belief system, right?
Okay.
So we're constantly at odds. Keynes was a collectivist, John Maynard Keynes, and his philosophy was the people were to not be in control of the economy. They were too ineffective and too stupid to do so, that they needed this collective few to control the economy. Right. And that's kind of the promotion of, what is the Federal Reserve? Why is it in control of all of our banking? How does it dictate and mandate what every lender should do? It is